Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a screencast-matic presentation and recording for the part of the lesson that has us looking at big tech in our democracy. Is big tech too powerful? Before we get started, please let me encourage you to open up to today's lesson, scroll down the correct section, and please get ready to answer the key concept questions as they coincide with the reading. Please remember that you can replay any part of this presentation for detail, clarity, or repetition later on. Let's go and get started. Is big tech too powerful? Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Apple are under fire for becoming so dominant. Is it time to break them up, though? Consider this political cartoon. When you want to look something up online, chances are you use Google. Want to do some online shopping? You're probably visiting Amazon. Browsing social media or messaging your friends? It's like you're on Facebook or one of the other platforms it owns, Instagram or WhatsApp. For many people, this technology has made it easier than ever before to connect with friends and family, find information, or purchase just about anything with the click of a button. But now these tech companies are coming under fire from government officials for becoming so dominant. In October, the Department of Justice, or DOJ, filed a landmark lawsuit accusing Google of illegally maintaining a monopoly over internet searches. 2 months later, the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, which enforces antitrust laws in more than 40 states, accused Facebook of becoming a social media monopoly. The FTC is also investigating whether Amazon has an illegal monopoly over online shopping, and the DOJ is looking into whether Apple possesses a monopoly on phone apps through its App Store. Now, the tech giants have long denied any wrongdoing, and it will likely be years before the lawsuits and investigations are resolved, but legal experts say that they signal a new era of increased backlash against the tech industry for having what many people see as too much influence over us. And they could eventually lead to the breakup of some of the biggest companies in the world, perhaps changing the internet and our lives forever. Now, people might enjoy using the tech platforms, says Hal Singer, a senior fellow at George Washington University's Institute of Public Policy, but they're also asking, what kind of society do we want? Amazon was founded by Jeff Bezos in 1995 in a garage in Bellevue, Washington, as an online bookstore. Google was created in 1998 in a garage in the suburbs of San Francisco by Larry Page and Sergey Brin, 2 PhD students at Stanford University, as a revolutionary tool to sift through the countless websites online. And Facebook was conceived in 2004 in a dorm room at Harvard University by Mark Zuckerberg and other students as a way for classmates to connect with one another. But from their modest beginnings, these companies have grown into some of the world's most dominant businesses, multi-billion-dollar corporations that now have their footprints in the seemingly every facet of our lives. Shutting out competitors? The DOJ's case against Google focuses its search engine and related advertisement business. Nearly 90% of all searches on the internet worldwide go through Google. According to the lawsuit, and the DOJ alleges that Google has abused its dominance in the internet search to shut out competitors such as Microsoft, Bing, and Yahoo Search. Now, the agency accuses Google of protecting its monopoly by making a default search engine on Android, its mobile operating system, and by striking deals with other tech companies, like Apple. Google pays Apple billions of dollars a year to also make it difficult to search engine on iPhones, iPads, and Mac computers. So when users do an internet search, it automatically goes through Google unless they change their settings. 2 decades ago, Google became a darling in Silicon Valley as a scrappy startup with an innovative way to search the emerging internet, the lawsuit says, but that Google is long gone. The Google of today is a monopoly gatekeeper for the internet. However, Google argues that its search engine is dominant only because people prefer it, and other search engines are just a click away. Big tech by the numbers. This number here represents the number of Google searches per year, more than 80,000 a second. 38% represents the percentage of all online sales in the US that go to Amazon. Walmart is in second place with about 6%. And 5.5 billion is the total number of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp users worldwide. Now, people use Google because they choose to, not because they're forced to because they can't find alternatives, Kent Walker, Google's chief legal officer, said in a statement. The Justice Department's case isn't the only legal trouble facing Google. In December, more than 30 states filed a lawsuit against the company, accusing it of downplaying websites where users review services, like Yelp and TripAdvisor, in its search results in order to promote its own reviews or services and illegally shut out competition. That same month, 10 states accused Google of abusing its dominance in online ads. As for the case against Facebook, federal and state officials say the company's purchases, especially of Instagram for $1 billion in 2012 and WhatsApp for $19 billion 2 years later, eliminated competition that could have one day challenged the company's dominance. Since those deals, Instagram and WhatsApp have skyrocketed in popularity, giving Facebook control over 3 of the world's most popular social media and messaging apps. For nearly a decade, Facebook has used its dominance and monopoly power to crush smaller rivals and snuff out competition, all at the expense of everyday users, said Attorney General Letitia James of New York, who led the multi-state investigation into the company. However, Facebook argues that FTC had already reviewed these purchases, and the platforms have become so successful only because Facebook helped them grow. The government now wants a do-over. Jennifer Newstead, Facebook's top lawyer, said in a statement, sending a chilling warning to American businesses that no sale is ever final. The investigation into Amazon concerns online shopping. Critics of Amazon say it has put many smaller retailers out of business and made it nearly impossible for companies not to sell their products on Amazon's marketplace. Apple is also under investigation for its App Store, which enables the company to take a cut of app developers' sales and promote its own apps and services. A new era for big tech? But even if the government proves its case, which experts say will be difficult, it might be too little too late. Some experts say that these companies have such a foothold on the market that it's questionable whether people will switch away from them even if more competition comes along. Regardless, the lawsuits come at a time of growing backlash against big tech from lawmakers in Congress. In October, a bipartisan subcommittee in the House of Representatives released a report after a 16-month investigation of the tech giants. In it, the lawmakers argue that all four companies, Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Apple, have become the kinds of monopolies we saw in the last era of oil barons and railroad tycoons. But politicians are split on what to do about it. Many Democrats say these businesses should be broken up so they don't have too much power. But while many Republicans favor tighter regulations, many oppose breaking up the companies, arguing that doing so won't help consumers. After all, some say most of these services are already free to use as it is. However, critics of these tech giants say the harm is in the enormous amounts of user data these companies collect, which they can then use to sell tens of billions of dollars worth of advertisements on their platforms. Others say the biggest harm may be to young entrepreneurs who hope to one day form their own tech companies, as well as the consumers who might miss out on the next big technological invention. If the government does not enforce the antitrust laws to enable competition, we could lose the next wave of innovation, says Justice Department spokesperson Mark Raimondi about the case against Google. If that happens, Americans may never get to see the next Google. And as you guys can see, here are diagrams down here that might help you understand a little bit more about this topic taking place, how big tech took over, understand the essence of what a monopoly is, and understanding control and what these types of applications might fall under can be helpful. As you can see, with social media giants and other forms of media coming to fruition, we can see that their control expands over special stores, services, and products. Only time will tell the future of these big tech giants and how we as consumers will be affected. Thank you very much for tuning in, and good luck with completing the rest of the lesson.